Hello, everybody. Good morning. Want to just touch base with everybody. Again, we're experiencing the part of the Delta wave now. Things are a little different, right? And as we continue to each week go through this process, each wave we've been through has been different, and we continue to adapt, and we continue to look at what the information and the data shows us, and then we look at what our options are. Certainly what we've learned, if you remember what it was like of spring of 2020, when we were shutting down a society, really because we didn't know how this virus would play out. And then we had to work to restart an economy, and you went through these phases. We learned a lot in that process, and we applied those lessons to really what was our most challenging public health wave, which was the second wave, where we saw cases increase hundreds of percentage points. We saw hospitalizations really get to the point where we were in trouble, ICU beds, and loss of life. But we, at the same time, all of that was happening and how horrible that was, we kept society going, and we learned how to do that. And now, after the vaccination process really happened and continues to happen, here we are. And so one of the lessons we learned was how critical in-person learning was. And I know in times of COVID and pandemics, we get very focused in on what's happening related to COVID. But public health is so much more than just COVID. We have to look at all the impacts of that, and that mental health was something that we certainly saw, certainly the addiction issues, suicides, 911 calls related to mental health doubling year over year. These are all impacts of this. These are all impacts of isolation. So we know how critical it is to continue in-person learning. And so when we look at, from a policy making standpoint, what can we do with a virus in the middle of a surge to have an impact to keep that happening? We've identified some measures. This morning I signed an executive order making it mandatory in every school district to either have vaccination proof of all interfacing employees in schools or test on a weekly basis. So that is all faculty, that is any third-party vendors that are in the buildings that contract. So we will have a vax or test policy with every school district in Onondaga County